Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is the Way West Stand. We're joined, as always, by Rhett Conaway. Rhett, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, I bet. So Arsenal won 3-2 over Liverpool. Can you kind of set the stage of this rivalry coming into this match? What has it been like of late?
Of late, I'm not even sure rivalry is the right word. Of late, they've had our number. It's been awful. I know that coming into this game, there was a lot of talk about Arsenal's a better side. They're in form. We can argue over whether or not that was true, but I'm telling you, as an Arsenal fan, you never felt that way. I mean, the last four league matches, 2-0 defeat, 4-0 defeat, 3-0 defeat, and then 2 years ago a 3-1 defeat.
Oh, okay.
We actually got one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So with that stage set, how awesome was it to see the game open up and in less than a minute, Arsenal score a goal?
It was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing. Like I said, I was at the beer garden. It was rambunctious. It was loud. People were still coming in, and the place was already being torn apart. It was just it was great. Like all the emotions. I think the thing that's so big for us is like the North London derby is huge, right? But in a way, we kind of expect to beat Spurs at home.
Sure.
If we go into Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in January, that'll be another thing. But we kind of expect to beat Spurs at home. I never expect to beat Liverpool and to be one up within a minute. I mean, it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess after that, how are you kind of feeling? How did the flow of the game go? What was good? What was bad? What are your main takeaways?
My main takeaway, I think, is that this is one of the better Liverpool games that they've played all season. Mm-hmm. And between our first goal and our second goal, I do think that Liverpool definitely had the run of play. I think that they looked very, very good. Mm-hmm. I think that there was a lot of things that they were doing right. They looked like Liverpool, which is what we've grown to expect. What my main takeaway from this game is Arsenal doesn't turn off. And if they do slow down, they're able to turn back on. It's been a problem that we've had for years, where once we get down, it's kind of like, all right, that's it, same old Arsenal. And, of course, it happened against Fulham earlier in the year. We were able to come back from a goal deficit with them. Mm-hmm. Aston Villa, same thing. We were able to turn it back on. Everyone's talking about the Leicester City game, where we scored right after both their goals. And it's like, okay, this isn't the Arsenal of old, but now we've done it against a team like Liverpool. Mm-hmm. Where we let them come back in. It was a great ball. I mean, that's Liverpool can do that. That first goal with Darwin Nunez setting it up, it's just that's what they can do. That's what they're supposed to be here for. That's why they have those guys. But the ability to have that ball played through the box to Saka in like the 46th minute was it was beautiful. It was like a couple dummies. And then he was just standing there at the end. Allison's yelling for an offside. He was onside by a mile. It's just, yeah. I know that people are going to say, Liverpool shouldn't have made that mistake, but we're also there to take advantage of that mistake.
Right. Yeah.
So big.
Yeah. So obviously that was huge. Saka, he had a really good game with 2 goals, the game winner. I mean, can you talk a little bit about him and what how he's been doing this season?
Saka's been amazing. Saka is great down the wings. He's great taking guys on. He's great setting things up. One thing, so for a lot of our new viewers who haven't necessarily been following Saka for a while, England got 2 penalty kicks in the Euro finals in technically 2021, but it was the 2020 Euros because of COVID.
Right.
Saka had the last penalty, and his penalty was saved. And he went through a lot of the racist bullshit that people like to put out against a guy who doesn't make it, in their team. I'm not defending them in any way. It's just, how crappy people are when their teams lose. Arsenal did a wonderful thing where they got a bunch of letters in support of him. They put a whole wall up in London Colney. He gets to see it every day, and it's a big deal. But just he's 21 years old, and to have the pose and composure that he has, everyone in the bar knew he was going to score when he stepped up to that penalty. Mm-hmm. And to be 2 years removed from that failed kick to he stepping up against Alisson and Liverpool to take that penalty is just huge. It's huge. The kid's 21 years old.
Yeah, really young.
I mean, he looks like a baby still, but he's out there. He's got 2 goals against Liverpool. He's fantastic. And then on the other side, Martinelli was just again, another young kid completely tearing him apart. He assisted Saka's first goal. He's the one who scored Arsenal's first goal. I mean, it was our young guns who really did it today.
Yeah, I mean, hey, good for the future of the team when you got younger players. So the penalty, what did you see? How did you feel about the call there? I got the vibe from watching that it was a little chippy. Liverpool thought so, of course.
I understand why people think it's soft, and to a point, I understand. I think my argument against it is if a foul is a foul in midfield, it needs to also be a penalty, and I do think it was a penalty. And I also think, I forget who said it, but one of the pundits said it exactly right. We can argue over it or not, but VAR is not going to call it a clear and obvious error. It was a kick through the back. Was it soft? Sure. I will say this, it was not against the run of play. Anyone you talked to who watched that game thought that Arsenal deserved to win the game. Would we have liked it to not be that penalty? Yes, I would have loved to win 4-1. But we earned that penalty. Even Klopp said they should have cleared the ball. They didn't clear the ball. They allowed the ball to come back in. Thiago, who is not really a center defensive mid, he's more the true midfielder, attacking midfielder type, got caught out. Gabby beat him to the ball. I mean, that's the kind of thing that happens. Is it soft? Sure. Have I seen that called against Arsenal? Absolutely. One thing I do also want to talk about, I don't know what a handball is anymore. I said it to guys at the bar. I don't understand. I understand why in the run of play, the Gabriel handball, potential handball, not called a handball, so I guess it wasn't a handball, but the Gabriel handball wasn't called. I don't know why VAR didn't come back to it. It's the type of thing that I think VAR is supposed to be here for. I'm really glad they didn't. Again, I think one of those games where if Liverpool did manage to get a draw from that, of course, I would have changed the game completely. But if Liverpool did manage to get a draw from that, everyone would be talking about how lucky they were to get away with that draw. And instead, at this point, I think that the best team on this day won. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans I talked to felt the same way. So, I don't know. Soft, sure. But technically a penalty? Yes. Everyone expects that to be called at midfield. Why do we suddenly not expect it to be called in the box? So,
hey, I mean, that's just how people are, right? When it's like very effective, people are like, what the hell? But hey, we'll take it because at the end of the day, a win's a win. And speaking of, still number one, still on top of the league, 24 points. So how are you feeling at this point in the season to have 24 points?
Oh, I don't. This is fantastic. We haven't had a start to the season like this since I think 06, 07, maybe. Only two teams have ever had this many points and not won the Prem. I think we will still turn into the third. I think that Manchester City is still just, they have so much depth.
Yeah, they have 23 points right now. Like they're right on the
right there. They're right there. I mean, overcoming Liverpool is huge. We've taken points off Liverpool, we've taken points off Spurs. And I'm not even taking points off week one. You have 3 points off each. And everyone talks about, old Arsenal can't bring it against the top 6. At this point, our mentality is there. I really think we can do it. That being said, I think what it's going to come down to, and I've said this before on the show, is injuries. And if you take the same amount of people off both Arsenal and Man City's in the better position. It's just the way that it is. It's just the way the teams are set up. Man City's in a different area of their maturation process. Robbie and Tim Howard on the NBC show were talking about they can't believe where Arsenal is now, and the only reason why they're not saying that they're true title contenders is because it seems too early, and in a big way it is. Gabriel is starting to show some cracks in the back. This is our center back Gabriel, not to be confused with our left winger Gabriel or our striker Gabriel, or our center back. He's the one he's let in the last 2 goals for the Prem. I mean, he got beat on the first goal for Liverpool. He's the one who gave up the penalty against Spurs. To be fair, I still consider that to be mostly Xhaka's fault and not Gabriel, but it's a crack. I think it's a crack that's showing because of how good Saliba is. So, again, good thing to have, but we still need to – we either need to mature a bit or we need to get some depth. That being said, today was a perfect example of how much better our depth is. Zinchenko's out on the left back. Everyone's thinking it's going to be Tierney. No, it's going to be Tomiyasu, who had a fantastic game. Was he a world beater? No, but for that, he's the bench guy. For the bench guy to come in and play that way was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have top 4 locked up, which is a big thing to say this early in the season. And I'm knocking on wood for anyone who thinks I'm not. I really think we have top 4 locked up. I think in a very real way, we probably have top 2. I don't know if Tottenham are going to be able to keep up with us. And apart from that, I don't know who else is close. I haven't seen enough consistency from United. Yes, they won today against Everton. Great. Everton's still one of my picks to possibly get relegated. I understand it's a rivalry, but Liverpool, we're now, and this is a big deal. So last season, we finished 23 points down on Liverpool. 23 points separate us. Through 9 matches, Liverpool have only played 8, so they have a game in hand. We're 14 points up on them. That's a swing.
Yeah.
That's a big swing. And a lot of that is Liverpool's dropping points, but a lot of that is us winning points. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I'm not saying we're winning top of the league, but right now it's going to be another week where we are top of the league. And next week is Leeds, and after that we should be top of the league. And the week after that is Southampton, and after that we should be top of the league. Those are 2 games that we should just be winning, bar none. After that, it's Nottingham Forest, who's probably getting relegated. We should be top of the league. We don't have another. And I'm not saying let's take these games lightly, but I don't think we're going to. We don't have another possible we're going to drop points fixture until Chelsea, and that's November 6th. And then we have Chelsea, and then we have Wolves. Yeah. Wolves look awful right now. Obviously, we're talking about a month from now. They could pull it together. But Wolves look really bad. And once we do that, if we get through those string of games, top of the league, then we're looking at 5 to 6 weeks break for the World Cup. And you know it's going to be laying on people if Arsenal are top of the league that entire time. But I'm also noticing it's been very interesting. If you watch it as much as I do, the shift where at the beginning of the season, Arsenal could make top 4. Are Arsenal strong contenders for top 4? And then a couple weeks in, it's are Arsenal favorites for top 4? And then a couple weeks after that, it's can Arsenal lose top 4? And then now it's are Arsenal actually title contenders?
Yep.
And I'm not saying we are, but man, what a ride that is to watch that happen from are we even going to be in top 4 to wait, are we actually going to compete? Are we actually going to be title contenders?
Hey, it's fun. Enjoy it, right? Like nothing you can do other than just watch and enjoy. Is there anything else for this match that you wanted to talk about that I didn't give you a good transition into?
This match, probably not. I think we covered everything. I mean, I could probably go on about this match for a long time. But, I've said my piece. I thought Liverpool looked good. I don't think they looked as good. I think that it's going to be very different when we look at the reverse fixture, just because we'll be in Anfield, which is still something we got to get off our backs. And they'll be healthier. Liverpool, I'm not making this a excuse for Liverpool, and most Liverpool fans won't make this mistake either, but they do have some injuries. Not necessarily top team guys, but they are playing Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, Champions League.
Yep.
It's Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, and that can be very draining on you. I mean, when we played Bodo Glint, we had barely any starters, so that is something that could be a factor. But if half of the Liverpool team goes down in the World Cup, who the heck knows, man?
Right. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, what do you want to promote? Plug anything? Floor is yours.
So one thing that we were talking about doing on this channel, on this episode that I want to get back to is our relegation watch.
Oh yes.
Leicester, since we talked about it last, it's been a couple weeks. Leicester managed to beat Nottingham Forest. They had their first win of the season. They then managed to lose to Bournemouth, which is my number 1 team to go down, which is making me look very silly right now because they're 8th. So maybe I was completely wrong.
Right.
But you have Nottingham Forest and Leicester, both with 4 points. Nottingham Forest have a game in hand. And then Wolves has 6. Southampton has 7. Aston Villa has 8. Everton has 10. Bournemouth has 12. I don't know. I made some very bold predictions, and I'm not saying that I'm not standing by them, but so far, man, it's not looking great. If Leicester is losing to Bournemouth, I mean, those are 3 points they got to take both
Right.
times, and that's 6 points total, and they're losing to them. It's going to be rough. So I keep an eye on that. If Leicester City get relegated, that's going to be some pretty big news.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. It's one of the few teams that like I have heard of in the Premier League before doing the show, so that would be surprising for me. Like Wolves, I'm like, there's just a team named Wolves? What? Not that I dislike it. I think it's cool. It's just like the other teams seem like their places. They're just Wolves. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And yeah, now anything you'd like to plug or promote?
Same thing as always. We're working on Show Saving Throw. We recorded last Thursday. We're recording this Thursday.
Yes.
And I think we even get to record next Thursday too.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be 3 weeks in a row.
Yes.
It's good.
I'm working with Chris from this channel, who's a voice coach, on how to not completely lose my voice over the course of all the recording I've been doing lately. So watch for that. If my voice gets better as we go, that is why. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. This BMA. Our channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport or WG Everything. Instagram Wicked Good Everything. Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. And on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports. Search Wicked Good Everything. We have a blog, wickedgoodeverythingsports.com. And then I just had some sad Dolphins videos put up before this one. But if you're not that kind of football fan, honestly, I don't blame you at this point, but I understand. So thank you so much for watching, Rhett. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll see you all in the next one.